trying to find out where we are. So, of course, it is not possible right now to recap everything that we were talking about. But we'll talk about Hilchos Teffilin Halacha Vav in Siman Ches. The whole idea is when the godliness of Kodesh Baruch Hu shines upon us, it goes through like a condenser, an adapter, so to speak. And this adapter is the Teffilin. The Teffilin have in them, it's like a relay station. And you have Tefilin and Rosh, which relay the signal to the second pair of Tefillin, which is you call the secret film, the hidden film, which is the knot behind the head. And it goes down the straps that are coming on both sides. The light of the Tefilin Shel Rosh shine onto the light of the Tefilin Shel Yad. The Tefilin Shel Yad represent our own receptacle, our own means of receiving the divine message and awakening from us, from the dust, from the gashmis of this world, of this existence, to a godly one. The process really starts every single night when we wake up Chatzos. There's a process of where the intellect, everything that we understand, everything we know goes away when we go to sleep. Then we wake up, it starts to be awakened. There's a very complex process that takes place where, you know, the part of the supernal personas separate, the intellect separates, the emuna stays, called Mashiach stays, and when we cry over the destruction of Beis Hamikdash, we're starting to build the seichel over again. It's very important to understand this nekuda because you're very likely you will meet this kind of phenomena again and again and again, each and every time that you move from one stage in spirituality to a higher stage in spirituality. What you will feel when you actually make rank is that you lost everything. You lost your moichin. You used to know what's what. You'll be able to tell everyone, you get up over here, sit over here, you get up, sit over here. You had everything under control. Suddenly, nothing. You don't understand what the heck is going on. You can daven, and sometimes you can daven just a little bit, 2 minutes here. You're just able to do the whole thing with such chayas, with such this and everything, and it's like people would ask you, and you had like snappy answers to every question, and you could answer it all. You had it all figured out. Suddenly, boom, everything is gone. You don't know what Kodesh wants from you. You don't know what people want from you. You don't know what your wife wants from you, if you ever knew. Everything is gone. Everything is lost. This is the union. This is what happens to you, that when you go to a higher madrega, that the moichin are being taken away. The intellect is being taken away. Now you have to build it all over again. The building process starts with the lamentation over the Chol Beis Hamikdash. What is the Beis Hamikdash? Beis Hamikdash represents the awareness. You just pushed me off to the side.
I'm sorry. We need awareness.
Yes. Now you have to. You got it.
Perfect.
Good.
Ashrei Ayin Rosh.
Okay. Yes. I'll keep my eye on you, man. The first thing you need to do is the lamentation on the Chol Beis Hamikdash.
Can I just ask you a quick question?
Yeah.
The way that I'm relating to what you're saying is that when I grow and I feel like I've lost it at that moment, I think I've gone back
Right. But you actually went forward.
because I have to start again.
You just
There's
went-
another mountain to climb.
You just went in the elevator and went up to the next floor. Now you
So-
went out and you don't know where you are.
That's right. It's and Rabbeinu says, "B'zeh toim achsidim harbe." This is a very common mistake that the people that are devoted into avodas Hashem, they are interested, because most people lie. They are not interested. It's not that bad. They come because otherwise they'll be embarrassed. But those that are interested in serving Kodesh Baruch Hu, they come, they think I did, and all of a sudden, bam, I don't know what the heck as you say, I don't know where I am, I don't know what's going on with me. It's like, I don't feel like doing anything, I feel like davening, I feel like learning, I feel like nothing. And so the Rebbe said that the first thing you need to do is you need to schuba Beis Hamikdash, is the lamentation of what is Beis Hamikdash? Beis Hamikdash is where the presence of HaKadosh Baruch Hu is in the world. The presence of HaKadosh Baruch Hu is equally in the world in your own mind. Any kind of can I have a tissue, please? Any kind of attainment and realization that you have of HaKadosh Baruch Hu and of godliness, this constitutes an existence of Hashem Yitbarach in this world. Kadosh Baruch Hu is totally abstract. This world is totally, physical. Even that which we consider to be spiritual or metaphysical or whatever it is, or theoretical, or any level you want to put it, is physical. It's just a higher degree of physicality. Kadosh Baruch Hu is the total antithesis of it. It's the complete opposite. Kadosh Baruch Hu can only, quote unquote, reside in this world, which is called the Shekhinah, in your mind. When you attain, you have a sogas alakus. When you learn Torah, what are you learning? You're learning the Ratzon HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that when Shimon says like this, and Reuven says like this, Shimon says like this, the deen will be so and so. So what do you know? I mean, there might never be a case that there'll be a Reuven who says this and a Shimon who says this, and so Balatanya explains it doesn't matter what you're learning the Ratzon of Hashem. That what? That if a Reuven will say this and a Shimon will say this, the verdict will be so and so. Now you know what Kadosh Baruch Hu wants. Your mind and the will of Kadosh Baruch Hu are one. He says that your mind, you wrap your mind around the Dvar Torah, and the Dvar Torah wraps itself around your mind, is malbish your mind, and it becomes one. That's why the Torah is called lechem, it's called bread. What is bread? Bread, when you put it in your stomach, you feel satisfied, but it still doesn't get what you need to get out of bread. It's only when the bread stops being bread and is absorbed all over the body, right? This is when it becomes you. When the bread becomes you, this is when it sustains you. So when you become one with the Sogas Elokus, with Divrei Hashem, Hashem has Shekhinah in the world. That's why it is so important that Mashiach will not come until all the neshamas are born. That's why, because it's a dor shabach masecha. Every generation, because each one of us represents a different and unique take kaviyachol on HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Each one is a separate, unique asogas elokos. There's nobody like you. There's never been anybody like you. There never will be anybody like you. So if you feel very sorry for yourself for being a lousy bum, everybody feels like that. The point is that the main nekuda is that there has never been a lousy bum like you. There never will be another one like you. And let me tell you something even more than that.
Would you be surprised to know it's not the first time someone said that to me?
And let me tell you something. This world is not complete and cannot be complete without the lousy bum in you. Just this is it. This is the emes lamite. The world cannot be complete without you living your life.
Is this when he says, I want to dwell b'tochtam? You need to
Yeah,
plug in there.
yeah,
So
yeah,
you need to have
yeah.
the spiritual
Yeah,
stuff
yeah,
done
yeah,
before you
yeah,
can have
yeah.
the physical temple.
So when you are actually lamenting the destruction of Beis Hamikdash, what you're lamenting is the destruction of your own Beis Hamikdash in your own mind at the same time, because these are parallel bechinas. That's what it says. Kol mi sheyesh bo deah, anybody who has das, ki כאילו נבנה בית המקדש ביום, kel deas Hashem, mikdash Hashem, 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 mikdash Hashem. So they're both the same thing. You lamenting on the whole Beis Hamikdash is a lamentation for the whole Beis Hamikdash in your own mind. This is the beginning of because when you start longing for something, this is the first step at attaining it. Because if you don't even want it, you don't know what it is, you don't miss it, you'll never get it. Unless it falls and hits you over the head, and even then you won't recognize it. But the beginning of attaining of any madrega is lamenting the loss of not having it and starting to yearn for it. So after the tikkun chatzos, then you learn Torah. When you learn Torah, what you call you're building a nekuda. You're building that particular nekuda sadas. It all completes afterwards. We put on the tzitzis. I'm not going to go through the whole process mainly because I don't remember it by heart. But you go through the whole process and then you put on the tefillin. The tefillin are when that nekuda comes back to you. You build it throughout the night. When you put in the tzitzis, you have made a receptacle that you'll be able to contain it, because getting something without being able to retain anything is worthless. It's just, so you saw a movie, but you didn't retain anything. And then you put in the tefillin. You put in tefillin shel yad, which fixes your own intellect. And then you have the tefillin shel rosh, and which fixes that. The light that comes in, that shines onto you, is the or pnei Hashem. That's the light of pnei Hashem. The light of pnei Hashem in this world goes through an intermediary, which is called pnei tzaddikim, the face of the tzaddik. Tzaddik is a very interesting contraption. It's not a bria and it's not a lakut. It's not a patriarch and it's not a tribe. It's Yosef. Yosef is in this no man's land. His two sons are tribes, right? Manasseh and Ephraim. So supposedly he's a patriarch, right? But he's not. Yaakov is the patriarch. So so he should be a shevet. He should be a tribe, but he's not, right? It's so he's in between. But Yosef wa mashbev wa shalt, everything has to come from him. Ad kedei kach that Yaakov blesses all the shvatim b'chein when he meets Esav. Ha'iladim asher chanan elokim esavdecha, when Esav says, who the heck are those? So he says, these are the children, that Hashem graced your servant, and these are the shvatim. But Binyamin wasn't born then yet. He was born later. The next time when we find when Binyamin is being blessed by Chen is by Yosef. When he says he comes to Yosef is the king of Egypt, nobody recognizes him, and he says, "Ze achichem, this is your small brother." She said, "Yes." He says, "Elokim yachlecha b'ni, Hashem will bless you with Chen." Dafka Yosef has to be able to bless him. So the question is, why didn't Yaakov bless him? Yaakov was still there, right? He was born, bless him b'Chen, b'vakasha. But the point is that without Yosef, during a fight against Esav, it is impossible to bless Bechem. That kind of alignment of Yaakov, Yosef, and in of Esav only happened when they met Esav. This is when Yaakov was able to bless Bechem. From that point on, the Chen was no longer able to come into this world, and why? Because everything already went into Yosef. This is what the Malach told Yaakov when you go to Eretz Yisrael. Rashi says, "Mishenoiled Satono shel Esav." Now that the nemesis of Esav was born, now he can go back. Everything depends on Yosef now, because El told us Yaakov Yosef that he gave him everything. That everything is the hand of the tzaddik. Everything has to go through the tzaddik. And Dafka, when Yosef is in Mitzrayim, and who is the son of Mitzrayim? It's Edom, right? So you have again Yosef Edom, The child, chen, he gets the chen. The chen can be given over. Ad kadei kach, the real shefa of or upon him comes from the tzaddikim. Rabbeinu says in the Torah that this halacha is predicated on, that when the tzaddik looks at you, he shines onto you, in you, your greatness. Each one according to his innate greatness. This is the sod of when Israel said to Moshe, and you should gaze, you should see the people that will be the ministers of thousands, of hundreds, of fifties, and of tens. The Zohar Kodesh says that with his look, Moshe Rabbeinu has shined, has sparkled, has awakened the innate greatness there was in each and every one of them. And we gave this mashal of the soldier that is a troublemaker, whatever it is, and then facing the enemy with the commander shot dead, and whatever it is, suddenly this no goodnik that people didn't know what to do with, they didn't know how to throw out of the unit. He's the one that grabs the bazooka, shoots the tank, gathers everybody. He's the one that wins the battle. Why? Because his greatness was awakened. It's each and every one of us. It says the staklus, when the tzaddik looks in each and every one, there is Eine Hashem, the eyes of Hashem are roving the land, says Elo tzaddikim. These are the tzaddikim. The eyes of the tzaddikim is the eyes that don't look at anything except what Hashem wants to look. They see what Hashem wants them to see. When He looks, this is His galus, is a revelation of the Ashkoch Elokis. Tzaddik looks at you, he wakes up in you your greatness. He says, what is your greatness? He says, obviously it comes about as Chidush Torah, but the greatness is that it awakens within you the dormant humbleness and anivus of Moshe Rabbeinu that exists in every limb of every Jew. That humbleness is what will actually awaken in the world to come. The thing that, hey, I made a lot of money, that doesn't wake up. It's the humbleness, the true humbleness of Moshe Rabbeinu. And at Kedekach, while we're alive, this humbleness is comatose. It is not, again, it is not low self-esteem. I was being very particular about this. It's not about low self-esteem. Self-esteem is not humbleness. Self-esteem is depression, and self-esteem is, it can cheat you into thinking that you are humble, but it's not. That's not what it is. The Ika humbleness is that you have absolutely no regard of your own milas. When I remember I asked Vevel Cheshen, how could Moshe Rabbeinu be so humble? I mean, didn't he know he was greater than anybody else? He said, because Moshe Rabbeinu looked at Ein Sof. Moshe Rabbeinu looked at, there's a famous Maisa with the Baal Tanya that he was in a chasana, and the joker that was there, was making fun of everybody, was kitzling, niddling everybody, and when he got to Baal Tanya, jumped over and just came about and said, hey, what about me? What about you?
We skipped it over.
What about me? So the person who was obviously not a fool, he says, I'm not a fool. It's like if Chas Chalila, you have a k'poid on me, then I'm toast. I'm dead meat.
When we talk about a tzaddik looking at you, we're talking about a physical.
Yes.
A meeting a tzaddik. We're not talking about learning a Torah and Moshe Rabbeinu looking at me.
No. Yes. Kacha.
There is a way.
Now I understand.
That's true.
There is a way.
No, there's a way by learning this far and being by the Tzion Rosh Hashanah wall and sitting around. This is you think I was doing in Uman when I was standing there. I was making his way. So I was looking at the Tzion. I was looking at the Ram. It's because the nefesh chaya of the tzaddik remains on the Tzion, on the grave of the tzaddik forever. It says the neshama spreads throughout the world, but the nefesh, like when he's alive, the nefesh is on the cave of mamash. He says, look at the tzaddik. I was just sitting, just looking at the camera. He says, I'm looking at the tzaddik. Tzaddik looks at me. No funny stuff. Now, the thing is that now I forgot where was I at? I was,
You were talking about story.
Baal Tanya, yes. So Baal Tanya promised him, Nok paid the right now, Mevata, Mevatel, whatever it is. So the person told the Baal Tanya, says, what I know, the Rebbe surely knows. Now, what the Rebbe does not know, I don't know. So the only difference between us is that which you know and I don't know. What is this in comparison to what is still to know?
That is brilliant.
He put his head down and he started to cry on the spot.
Yeah.
On the spot.
Could you say that again? That was pure art.
Thank you. I made it up myself. He said, what I know, the Rebbe knows. What the Rebbe doesn't know, I don't know. So the only difference between us is what the Rebbe knows and I don't. So what does this count when compared to what is still to know?
It's a brain teaser, but it's true.
Yes, that's what about started crying when he heard that. You know, because this is what Moshe Rabbeinu is. Moshe Rabbeinu all the time looked at what is still to know. You know, where I am vis-a-vis HaKadosh Baruch Hu. He didn't look, look, I'm bigger than this guy. This is us in this world. That's the physicality of this world, and it traps us in the gashmis of this world. So we compare ourselves to everybody. So this is not what it's about. Moshe Rabbeinu did not compare himself to anybody. He only looked what is still for him to go, where he still had to reach, what he still didn't accomplish. So he was the humblest man of all the men of the earth, and this kind of humbleness, of shyness, exists in each and every one of us. But since the time that Adam Arishon has eaten from the tree of knowledge, we are under the auspices of death. Ado Nosson says a tremendous thing. It's a different answer to your question. He says, the day that you will eat from it, you will die. And he said, I didn't die that day. Rabbi Nosson asked the same question in Rosh Hashanah, and he says, from here comes to see, before Rosh Hashanah, we have the 98 klalas that after this, so the Am Yisrael was stood back, aghast. Who can possibly, withstand these so many curses and so Moshe Rabbeinu called him, come back. He says, you see it, you're all standing here. He says, you see, you're already machiz HaKadosh Baruch Hu, you angered him so many times, but you're still here. Because no matter what the klaus is, the HaKadosh Baruch Hu is beyond anything. Nosson says about this particular question. Even though Hashem told him, the day that you'll eat from it, you will die, the achmonis of Hashem is so great that He gave him 1,000 years more to live. So you should never lose heart. You should never lose hope. He says, but this kind of humbleness, but nevertheless, even if you live 10,000 years, it doesn't make a difference anymore. The minute that death was decreed upon him, he's a walking dead man with a little reprieve.
So it's the same as he gave him that. It's the same as the second tablet. He was going to kill the Jewish people, and he gave him it again. He gave him another chance.
That's
gave
right.
the Jewish people another chance.
Yes.
Kippur.
So Kippur?
Second Luthos were given in Kippur.
Right.
That's the truth. That's what the
So
Likutei Halachos.
that's right. It also says that the luchos of the tfus is b'chinas luchos, because that's the thing that made Torah spread out. But anyhow, so we are all under the auspices of death. We're all mortals, no matter how long we live. So eternity, which is the humbleness of Moshe Rabbeinu, because that's the thing that will resurrect. I mean, that's eternity. This kind of humbleness, this kind of realization. Where am I? Where there's still to learn, right? When you're looking at that perspective, that's eternal life. So right now it's dead. we are under death, so we don't feel it. So we can, the only kind of feeling of humbleness that we are capable of in this world stem from inferiority complex. Some of all kinds of, funny mind games that we had when we were kids or whatever. Nature, nurture, blah, blah, whatever. But the real humbleness, the kind of humbleness that you're so unaware of your qualities and they so don't matter anything to you physically that you can say the greatest praises about yourself. Moshe Rabbeinu says, "Vayom Hashem al Moshe," and Hashem said to Moshe, to the point that in Sefer Dvarim, in Deuteronomy, it's called, Moshe Rabbeinu is speaking in second, by Kodesh Baruch Hu in third person, and every once in a while he slips into second person. Anochi Hashem Elokecha, I am Hashem your God. Moshe Rabbeinu is telling his own praises to the people by himself because he has absolutely no perception of his own self, nothing. So that is the thing which is there. It's dormant. It's more than dormant. It's dead. When you wake it up, when the tzaddik shines, when tzaddik looks at you and shines his own greatness.
The fact that Moshe Rabbeinu was able to reach a level of complete bittul allows the nitzkius of Hashem to flow through him. And because he brought himself to the point of complete bittul, that anivus allows for nitzkius to exist. That's like eternity. So that's the anivus, that's the anova that's used for Tchias HaMesim, because that allowing yourself to become batal to the Ratzon Hashem to flow through you, that's what's used for Tchias HaMesim.
There are other aspects in the sense which need to be understood, which is the side of Zichut Toras Moshe Avdi, that the Moshe Rabbeinu is as you said is just a conduit that enables everything, but nevertheless he's the personification. Excuse me, I still didn't get back all the way from Uma.
You did well. You're close.
I know. No. First of all, the skeleton comes in the flesh, and then the neshama. Like that. So, why the greatness is the humility? This is because that greatness is the grace of Kodesh Baruch Hu. במקום שאתה מוצא את גדולתו, in a place where you find grace of Kodesh Baruch Hu, what do you find? You find his anova, you find his humbleness. So the real greatness is anova. That's what it's all about. So when the tzaddik looks at you and awakens your innate greatness, what is awakened? The anova, the humbleness, the innate humbleness, which is the beauty of Am Yisrael. That's eternity.
That was the hagosha that I had when I was in Umbro, when I was by the Tzir. I had a hagosha of anivus that I...
Yes.
Of what? Of anivus. I felt amish anivus in the level that...
Yeah.
That was the hagdama, right?
Yeah.
The haskama, that the koyachan does.
Yeah, anivus, the anivus.
I didn't realize what I was feeling until it left.
You said last
You
year.
understand? And then I realized
Going to the tzaddik without cheshbanos.
No, he's talking about the Rebbe himself. You come to the Rebbe, and what you feel about the Rebbe is total anivus. It's total. Yeah. I felt it as total peace. Just melech shalom shalom, just total peace, total anivus. Don't make me cry, please stop. Anyhow, I'm done crying already. I had a friend of mine. I took a friend of mine.
Zeicha to an esrog nai. Zeicha to an esrog nai.
A friend of mine, a Lubavitcher, was a Baal Tshuva that went through Lubavitch, and he went with me to Uman. We were standing there by the square before the Rebbe's. This whole big. It was open. It was not closed. It was afterwards. It was already. We were standing there, and Mamash like diagonal from Nevis Tzin, and he said, we were looking at the Tzin, he says, take me to the Tzin. Take me to the Rebbe. So I go ahead. So he said, no, take me. So, me, take him by the hand, and we start walking. And 2 steps in, I stop smiling. And the more I step, the more I feel that I cannot step anymore. And we took like 5 more steps, and I started crying like I've never cried in my life, and I couldn't take a single step more. I realized that if I take 1 more step, my neshama is going to leave my body. I've never had such a gosha about the Rebbe because of the anova of the guy that was with me. I came with a Breslau Rebbe, this and that. Here comes a guy, he says he's embarrassed to go to the Rebbe without me. You take me, you're his guy, you're his, take me to him. And that emeskite, there was when I embraced him, when I took his arm, it energized me. I sort of I connected with him, and I was like, the total bullshit that came on me. It's just like, Yom Kippur. I just want to go over this little thing that I say it every time. A, because I like to recycle. And B, it's good to sort of remind ourselves. The process of Rosh Hashanah is the process of waking up on Chatzos that we said before. Because in Rosh Hashanah, the tzaddik goes, Moshe Rabbeinu goes to receive the luchos. The tzaddik goes, the B'chinas Ein Sof. This is the process of Ratzon V'Shuv. He comes back with a kernel of the new year of time. As Rabbeinu says in Purim Maisis, in this myself, the 7 Betlers, in this mysterious story of the heart and the fountain. That there's no time, there's no place, and every day has to be recreated by the Emet and Ish Chesed, the true Ish Chesed, with all this incredibly profound and sophisticated machinations that bring forth the reality of time. This is what happens on Rosh Hashanah, when the tzaddik goes where he goes and reads a blank page, so to speak, and brings a beginning of a new year. This is Dina Kasha, that's the first day of Rosh Hashanah. Here comes the second day of Rosh Hashanah, where there's the Bina, there's already some kind of a system which to take this eternal message from the Kodesh Baruch Hu to create a new year. And then you have 10 days all the way down to Yom Kippur. The 10 days down to Yom Kippur, the 10 spheres, in which, you have, the first 3 days of Rosh Hashanah in Tzom Gedalia, which represents the Gimel Rishonos, and then you have the 7 days that come up to, all the way to Yom Kippur. There was an initial argument between Rabbi Eliezer and Rabbi Yeshua. When was the world created? Rabbi Eliezer said the world was created in Rosh Hashanah, and Rabbi Yeshua said it was created in Nisan. And Gemara says that they don't disagree with one another, except of course the 6 months difference. We don't disagree. But the thing is that the world was created in Rosh Hashanah in a state of gestation, in a state of pregnancy. So it starts with Rosh Hashanah, and what happens is that by Yom Kippur, the male tools for the creation of the world have been perfected. This is why we're standing there wearing white on Yom Kippur, and we're accepting upon ourselves the 5 Tanesim, the 5, what do you call it?
Inui.
I know. How do you say it in English?
Oh.
Anyhow, you fast. You don't drink. You don't wash yourself with water. All the 5 things that you do. These are the 5 things that correspond to the 5 dinim that come from the Bina. This is already when the tools for the differentiation system is already in place. It's like, when the voice comes out from our lungs and we want to enunciate words, we have the five muscles of we have the five tools in the mouth, the lips, the teeth, the tongue, the roof of the mouth, and the throat, which enable us to formulate words so we can put our thoughts into them. So these five inuyim of Yom Kippur, these are the five motzei sapeh of the male aspect of the year. In other words, that's tipa zaris, that's the grain, that's the seed of the coming year. There's no physicality whatsoever. This is the year in spirituality. All the spirituality of the year is already in us. And Yom Kippur, come Yom Kippur, there's no averes, there's no awareness, everything is wiped clean. Now we are ready to go into Sukkot. The sukkah itself is the womb. That's the female aspect. We are the seed, and we are going into the sukkah. We're going into the sukkah. We're taking the most exalted plants in the world, which are the Daled Minim. And what we do is we elevate them and bring them down. What we're doing is the light of the Chasadim, after it's come from the Bina, resides in a level called Das. It's still up there, it's still theoretical, it's still beyond. What we need to do, we need to take the light of the Chasadim of the Das for the new year, and we have to impregnate, sort of, the egg, so to speak, right? What we need to do is, so this is what we do with the lulav. We go up and down and left and right, all, the seven directions of existence. We take the spirituality, the spiritual blueprint, the spiritual data, the spiritual content and shefa and bounty of this year, and what we do is we focus it on the Malchus. This is where the action is taking place. The Malchus is the female, the Malchus is the mother. That's why Arizal says, when you do the Kavanas Lulav, you do it in order to shine on the light of the Orach HaSodim, which in the Das, through the Lulav, onto the Esrog. The Lulav in the other meaning, onto the Esrog. The Esrog is the Malchus. The idea is you get the what can be into the here and now. This is what you're doing. It's a process from above to below. That's what happens in the Sukkah. And then, Shmini Atzeres, this says, why is it called Shmini Atzeres? That the womb stops the seed. And, it's planted. Now it can grow. Now it can, Shmini Atzeres. And the first birth is Torah. That's the thing that comes out. Then you have Simchas Torah coming right after that. The same process takes place in Nisan. This is when the world is born begashmias. This is when the world is born in potential, meruchnias. Then you come winter, gestation, and then like the 9 months that the child is in the stomach, in the womb of his mother. And then comes Pesach. Pesach is the later. Pesach is the birth. So you have the same thing. You have Rosh Chodesh Nisan. That's the first mitzvah. It's a Pchinas Rosh Hashanah. And then you have 10 days in Mitzrayim. They had 10 days. 4 days before, they have to tie the Korban Pesach, that's, to the bed, right? Before the Pesach, before your Dalit. This is, you have to check the Korban Pesach from Mumin. You have, 10 days after. And then you have 4 days between then and Pesach. This is the 4 days between Yom Kippur. Correspond to the 4 days between Yom Kippur and Sukkot. Then you have Pesach. And when you have Pesach, right after Pesach, the first thing that you have on Yom Tov Pesach is you have mitzvahs oimer, right? In the oimer, what do? You take the oimer sa'or, you take a measure of barley. I don't know how you say oimer in English. But you have a measure of barley, and what do you do with it? You elevate, up, down, left, right, forward, in all the 6 directions. The difference here is that then what the Omer starts is 7 weeks of counting. When we started, B'man of the Lulav Esrog, when we start on Sukkot, we have 7 days. Actually, it's only 1 day in the Mikdash, but afterwards, the Rebbe Yochanan says, it's masking that we can do it for 7 days. Being we don't have the big generator, the big relay station of Beis Hamikdash to bring us down in 1 day, it's no longer. So he says now we do it in 7 days. On Pesach, once you do Sfiras HaOmer, now the direction is from down up. Now, why do we take this low barley and we lift it up? The idea is to take the gashmis of this world and to make godliness out of it. This is our part. This is it flips over. In Rosh Hashanah, you bring it down, and in Sfiras HaOmer, you bring it up. So bring it up to down, which is the Ma'aseh Hashem. This takes 7 days. With us, it takes 1 day. Now it takes 7 days. When it comes from down and up, it takes 7 times 7. It takes 7 Shavuos until we get to Shavuos. Then again is Matan Torah. Then again is Kabbalah Satorah. The same as, so you see the same cycle goes over again.
So the Omer is like the counting of the speech. You're counting to Kabbalah Satorah, which is the rectification of the Dibur.
That's right.
Play on the word Omer.
Interesting. Yes. So what I'm saying is that, let me tell you a secret, okay? I came from Uman. I have absolutely no meichel whatsoever.
For what?
I have no mental faculties worth nothing.
What do you mean?
I'm telling you.
I'm listening to you talk Torah, and you're saying very intelligent things. So
Yeah, because I say things I already know. But I'm not trying to belittle myself. I'm telling you that I found myself right now almost like Samson without his hair and Superman holding kryptonite in his hand. I don't know to turn this way or to turn this way, to drink or not to drink, nothing. I'm going into Yom Kippur, I don't even know exactly where I'm going to daven. Nothing. Everything is floating in the air. And it's fine. It's fine. I have more gates of things that are going on in my life right now which I have absolutely no control. I feel totally powerless over, in a bad way, that I can count. It's okay. It's totally okay. And the reason why it is okay is because I am in the hands of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the avodah of the 10 days of assessing a tshuva is to crown HaKadosh Baruch Hu. I say a melech HaMishpah. HaKadosh Baruch Hu says that HaKadosh Baruch Hu should be my melech b'chesed, b'rachamim, b'tzedek, b'mishpat. Now, say when he shines at me and everything goes peachy keen and like beautiful, and Tzad Tzedek HaMishpat, when I don't understand anything, I don't see anything, I don't like it one little bit, and I don't have a clue, and I don't have money, I don't have this, everything, it's because he wants it for me right this minute, I celebrate it. He's my melech. It's his judgment. He judges, I want you to be right in this little square inch, not an iota left or iota right. And I go, yay. All right. Because you be the man. You're the melech. You're the melech. So accepting where I am right now, not knowing anything, I knew I had to come here this morning to learn because I needed this, like a junkie needs a fix. I needed the air. Because frankly, I can't breathe anymore. It doesn't mean, it means the fact that I accept the way that I am right now doesn't mean it has to continue, right? Can ask Hashem, make it a little bit easy, hey,
A lot easier.
A lot easier, Baruch Hashem, it's going to be, I'm going to get into Yom Kippur, and I want to tell you something, if I can down the Kavanah, I'll, B'ezrat Hashem, bleed and I put everything I can into it. And I'll tell you something, if I don't manage to do it, I'll daven Kavanah the next day. Rav Nosson said, there was, he had a Talmud called Shmuel Isaac, who was a saraf. And so Reb Nosson said that him, the Rebbe took lead on the edge of a knife. That was Hashem. He says, by us, he says, if we don't daven on Yom Kippur, that if we fudge it, we drop the ball, so to speak, on Yom Kippur, we daven God's Nomen. We daven the day after. It's called God's Nomen. We got God's Nomen. The main thing is to fast. I shouldn't think that that maybe I can't daven. Maybe I should drink something or eat something. No. If I can't daven, whatever it is, stay in bed. It doesn't matter. Better stay in bed and not eat or drink than eat and drink and daven. No, just know where the priorities are. That's the five tanesim. Total bittul. Whatever Hashem wants to do, He is a melech tzedakah b'mishpat. He knows what He's doing, and the fact that I feel really not nice, and I feel unpretty, and I feel stupid, and everything else, it's fine. That's the way He wants me.
It's also good to feel good.
Vadai. But the point is, you have lemons, you make lemonade.
Right.
The thing is that you serve Hashem with
Lemonade
the way
is
you.
good.
Yeah, you serve Hashem with you are right now. And Sefer Amindas, the Rebbe says, gives tremendous. He says a wild thing. He says, when you believe in HaKadosh Baruch Hu, you get to understand Him.
Whatever that means.
That means that if you believe that what's happening with you right now, you believe with all your heart that is the best thing for you, you take a look at it, you gain a perspective which allows you to look at it and says, I get it.
Why?
I get what's going on. Hashem shall help us, B'rat Hashem. Hashem will come out, Sima Tova. Have a good given shtio. And we'll be dancing together and frolicking together and happy together. So Hashem together. And B'rat Hashem, B'vias Mashiach Tzidkenu B'kol Mamash Omen.